Hey, how's it going? I am Merkaba18. Today we're going to be doing another video in which I imagine a Rainbow Six Siege operator if they were ever implemented in Rainbow Six Extraction. As always with these videos, this is based purely on my imagination and nothing but my imagination, so please have some fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. And just remember, we're all here to have some fun. And please remember to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done that. I am going to be doing all of the Rainbow Six Siege operators at some point. Some of them are going to be more difficult than others, but we've got some ideas written down, and we're brainstorming as we progress through the series. Some of the ones that I've already done have been insanely fun. I will link to some of those after the video is over so that you can see which ones I've already talked about. But I want to know which ones you guys think I should do next. Which operator should I check out next? I want to hear what you think about this particular conceptualization. So please let me know what you think. I am also live Monday through Friday, or Tuesday through Friday. Words are hard. And we are over on Twitch and at Merkaba18. There's a link to that in the description. Please go check out the Twitch channel. We play Extraction. We play new releases, all kinds of fun stuff. We have a good time over there. All right, so this is Lana. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I am mispronouncing that, please let me know in the chat below. But Lana has been a very interesting and fun character for me to learn in Siege. So I'm going to demonstrate briefly, if you've never played her or played Siege, how she works here. You have a replicator drone, essentially, that will make a copy of yourself. You can do a very limited number of things. You cannot jump. You cannot shoot your gun. You cannot do any offensive ability whatsoever. And as you can see in the center left, there is a timer that ticks down, which gives you an indication of how much time you have left on that drone. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, too, is you cannot do these sorts of things. So, like, when it comes to, like, meleeing doors or opening doors or whatever it may be, breaching, anything, any kind of ability other than moving, you can't really do it. Now, there is one exception to that. You can mantle with these. So let's say, for example, if that is closed, you cannot jump in with the replicator, but you can mantle if this is opened up. So let me demonstrate what that looks like here. So that's opened. Now the thing with Lana, and we'll get to this here in just a minute, is she's very fragile. So you want to be very careful with her. You don't want to be standing in a very easy spot for your team or your enemy to shoot you. You can mantle over here, and the main purpose of Lana here, as you may be able to tell, is to gather information. She's sort of a drone, if you will, that tricks enemies into thinking that it is you when it is your replicator. So rather than just running straight in and then, boom, getting shot by an enemy, you can use your replicator drone and gather the information about where they are. So I can see this being sort of a very direct like-for-like translation in Extraction. There is an operator that already exists in Extraction called Vigil, who might have some similar characteristics here, maybe a little bit of an alibi situation as well. The difference, obviously, in Siege is that Alibi is a defensive op and Lana is an operator on offense. So there's sort of a crossover between Lana and Vigil here, and this is a sort of like-for-like. I can imagine that this would last a little bit longer. Part of the issue with Extraction, or part of the issue with Siege, is that they have to balance these operators as if they are being used in a competitive scene. In a competitive PvP scene. So the time-limited aspect of it is crucial. It helps keep the game balanced, all those things. So I can see one that's would last a little bit longer in Extraction because there's no necessary need to keep it short as it is in this game. In Siege, it does have a reset timer, and there's no limit to the number of them that you can use. But as I mentioned, you are vulnerable. See, so if I'm using my intel and I walk over here and I'm looking for intel and another player walks through that door, they can shoot me and I'm dead. So essentially the same sort of principle would be true in Extraction. You have to use it in a way that is going to prevent howls, that would prevent you from being detected by Archeans, but it's sort of a way of like droning out without having to use a drone. Gather intel, use a little bit of a lion effect to some degree, and you can also, by the way, cancel it, and then the timer will reset. So very direct like-for-like comparison. I think at max level they will automatically scan. I think that at max level you'll see the ability to perhaps shoot your gun. As I mentioned previously, Extraction doesn't have the burden of balancing in a PvP sense. So let's say, for example, in this drone at max level, I can maybe use my pistol to shoot at Archeans or take one or two of them out. Do limited damage, maybe reduce the damage, limit it to you can't chuck grenades or whatever it may be. But limit it in certain ways that are not as impactful in extraction because of the need to balance it in competitive scenes for Siege. One other change that I can see taking place is the number of them. So let's say, for example, like with Alibi, I can set up as many drones as I want to. Let's say I go and use my extraction or replicator drone, set one here, and then go back and I can set one over there and sort of set them in a place, become a little bit of a static drone, the way that Alibi does. That might sort of become a like-for-like replacement for Alibi in some ways, but there's certain ways that you can make that balance and certain ways that that can change over time. The other element that you want to try to keep in mind too, as with Alibi, is that these will probably cause howls. If you're using your replicator drone and you run over here and you see that there are a bunch of Archaeans right there and they see you, just like with Alibi, if they see your drone replica, they're going to howl. And so with this, I would imagine the same thing is going to happen as well. You're gonna cause howls. You're going to see people use them as a way to gather intelligence, but you have to do it carefully and just as stealthy as if you were the actual player. So what do you guys think? What do you think this would look like? What did I get wrong? What do you think should be different about this? What would your max level op for Iana look like that a level 1 would not have? Please let me know who you think I should do one of these videos on next. I would love to hear your feedback. Some of you guys have had some amazing ideas already, and I want to hear more. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again for the next video.